So, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Today in this video, we'll be learning about the transient groundwater analysis. So, what basically the transient groundwater analysis is, when we are dealing with the pore pressure generation with the passage of time, means when we want to analyze that, how much pore pressure is generated in some particular time. For example, if I say how much pore water pressure is generated in 10 hours, in 50 hours, in 100 hours, this time dependent analysis is basically called transient groundwater analysis. Seepage, steady state seepage analysis is basically uh, after a long time, there comes a condition when steady state is established. So before steady state establishment, there is a condition of transient groundwater analysis. That is what we are going to analyze in the slide software. Also we want to analyze the effect of transient conditions on the slope stability. Like I said, if I want to analyze that, how much there is effect of excess pore water pressure or pore water pressure generation of 10 hours on slope stability, pore water pressure generation after 50 hours on the slope stability, and so on. This type of analysis we want to learn using slide software. So let's go towards the example of the you can say the definition of transient groundwater analysis. A transient groundwater analysis is important when there is a time dependent change in pore pressure. This will occur when groundwater boundary conditions change and the permeability of the material is low. In this case, it will take a finite amount of time to reach steady state flow conditions. The transient pore pressure may have a large effect on slope stability. That is what we are going to learn. So before starting the tutorial video, those who are new to the video, those who are seeing my channel for the first time, so please subscribe the channel and also join our Facebook page with the same name, Geotech with Naqeeb. The link is given in the description. Also the handouts are available with the link in the description. So let's start with an example. So here is the geometry that will model, and we'll try to study the transient groundwater conditions in the slide software. So I'll be opening the slide software. There are some technical details regarding this topic, so I will try to understand these technical details as well. So firstly, we'll go towards analysis, and in the project setting, we'll change time units in the hours. As I said, I want to check the pore pressure generation in hours. So I'll be selecting the time units in hours. Rest will be the same. I can check the methods. I want to analyze the slope stability according to these methods. Then groundwater, I will be clicking advanced, and already transient groundwater conditions are selected. Now here I'll have to define the stages. Like I want to check that after 10 hours how much pore pressure is generated. Then I want to check after 50 hours, 100, 500, and 10,000 hours. So basically I want to check that how much time it will take to reach the steady state. Also I want to check that it's up to us that if I can define it as 24 hours, I can define it as 50 hours. So it's up to us. So I'll have to define these stages in the slide software. So I'll be defining 5 stages, and now there are 5 stages. I'll have to define the time in hours. This is 10, this is 50, this is 100, this is 500, this is 10,000. and now I want to check that after 10 hours how much there is pore pressure generation and what is the factor of safety. Then I want to check after 50 hours how much the pore pressure generation and what is the effect of this pore water pressure generation on the factor of safety. Then again for 100 hours, 500 hours, 10,000 hours. Now I will click OK. Now I will go towards the external boundaries. I'll have to draw the external boundaries. So here you can see the coordinates are given in this example 0, 0, 20, 10, 24, 0, 0, this is 20, this is 10, this is 24, this is 12, then 28, 12, then it's 52, 0, then 40, 0, and then 0, 0. Now the geometry is complete. The next step is to define the material properties. I will define the material properties and I will not be changing these properties. Let it be the same as defined already. Okay. Now the next step is to define the surfaces. As you know that it's important to define the autograde because the slip circle radius will lie in this autograde. So I will click right click on the mouse in display option, click show grid, points on the search grid, done. Now I will move towards the transient groundwater. Here firstly I'll have to generate meshing, so I will click this three dies mesh. Now you can see the model. Next thing is to define the boundary conditions. Boundary conditions means I have to define this head of water and then this flow drain. Here this portion is 12 meter of flow drain. We'll have to simulate this in the slide software as well. So I have to define the boundary conditions. Here you can see this module. You will click over here. Now total head is 10 meter. I will just click over here, then right click and assign. Now the 10 meter head of water is applied over it. Now how to model or simulate the flow drain. So we will assume that drain provides a drain boundary condition such that the pore pressure along the top of the drain is 0. Therefore choose 0 pressure for this time. So if whenever we want to define a flow drain or drain, then we have to set the pressure as 0. So I will be selecting this point 0 pressure. Now we'll click over here, right click and apply. Sign. You can see here the flow drain is being defined. Now apply and that's. Now the last and the final step, which is the most important step for this transient groundwater analysis. So you will have to define your model. It can be a simple model, it can be Brook and Core model. You will have to define this parameter. We'll be touching a little bit about these models. Then we will define our own curve. Here we'll click new, and now we'll have to define this function. What does it mean by the metric section and permeability? Actually, this is related to the soil water characteristic curve. Soil water characteristic curve is related to the saturated and unsaturated zone. Like if I show you the results, here you can see that let's say after 10 hours there is the movement of phreatic surface over here. Then after 50 hours the phreatic surface is moved to this position. Then after 100 hours the phreatic surface is moved to this position. Head of water is changed. Also the pore pressure is changed. So it means now here is the saturated zone and there is the unsaturated zone. So due to the difference in pore water pressure and pore air pressure, the water will be sucked by the unsaturated zone. it will try to create the equilibrium condition. Water will be sucked by the unsaturated soil from this zone towards this zone. So this function is defined by soil water characteristic curve because this phenomena is depending upon the pore water pressure and permeability of the soil, pores of the soil, textures of the soil. So to further understand the soil water characteristic curve, these are the notes. You can you can read these notes as well. The link is given in the description box. So firstly, what is soil water potential? So this is the amount of work that must be done per unit of a specified quantity of pore water in order to transport reversibly and isothermally an infinitesimal quantity of water from a specified source to a specified destination. So these are categorized into four subgroups. Metric potential, this is the most important one that we are concerned about. So this component is related to difference between pore air and pore water pressure in the soil, like this. Difference between pore water pressure and pore air pressure. So there will be it will try to create equilibrium conditions, so water will move from this to this. So this is called the soil water potential. Now, what is soil water characteristic curve? So soil water characteristic curve describes the functional relationship between soil water content. Water content is of three types. Theta means the volumetric water content. Volumetric water content is the volume of water divided by total volume of the soil. This W stands for gravimetric water content or simple water content that we measure in the laboratory, that is a weight of water divided by weight of soil solids, and SR stands for degree of saturation. So basically the relationship of soil water content with metric potential. Metric potential I have already explained. It is the difference between the pore water pressure and pore air pressure. So under equilibrium conditions, soil water characteristic curve is an important soil property related to the pore space distribution, sizes, interconnectedness, obviously, which is strongly affected by texture and so on. So this is the little bit introduction of the soil water characteristic curve. So that we have to define in the slides after. Now the question is how this curve can be generated, how we can define this curve. So actually you will have to perform a laboratory test to determine this soil water characteristic curve. You can perform the test according to this system. You can perform pressure plate test to determine the soil water characteristic curve, but it takes several days to complete. It's a lengthy procedure as well. So there is a research paper as well that can be studied, and there are numerous techniques which can be used to create the soil water characteristic curve. So this is how you will obtain the data of metric potential and water content and the permeability. So for the time being, I've taken the exemplary values. So I will be using these values for this analysis. I will define this soil curve. Soil curve. Now I will have to define a metric potential. You can see the values are 0, 50, 0, 50, 50, 0, 15, 50, 100 and 200. Now I'll have to define the permeability. So permeability values are here 1 into 10 raised to the power minus 7, 1 into 10 raised to the power minus 7. So I'll be writing these values 0 0.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. So similarly, I will be defining these values. Now the next value is 5 into 10 raised to the power minus 9. And here we go. The next one is 1 into 10 raised to the power minus 10. Next one is 0. 1 into 10 raised to the power minus 12. So we have defined this permeability function now, or you can see the graph uh, as well. As the metric section increases, the permeability also decreases. So it's obvious. Now we'll have to define a water content function. This is metric section with the water content 0, 1250, 0 here, 1250 kPa, then 0.4 and 0.1 less. So that is how we'll define this soil curve. Now rest of the parameters will be remain same. So this is the main concept of the function you will be using for transient groundwater analysis. You can use other models as well. So the detail of these models is given in these notes. You can read these notes as well. You can see this the whole concept is been defined over here regarding the saltwater characteristic curve. So there is one of the model which is used in the slide software. So this is the model given by this author. So relationship between water content and soil section. So you can use these model as well in the software. So the air entry valve is metric section where air starts to displace the water. So this is a little bit introduction of the saltwater characteristic curve, but I think it's enough to understand for using this concept in the slide software. So now I'll be clicking OK, and the next step is to perform the analysis. So you will have to perform the slope stability mode. Okay. Now go to the compute. Yes. As I want to analyze the slope stability as well. Yes. It may take a short time to complete the analysis, compute the results. Now we go to the interpret option. Now you can see here. Now firstly we'll be checking the initial state. Here the stages are defined. Now this is the initial state of the dam. Now I want to check the factor of safety. So I'll go to the view and you will have to select this mode, slope stability. Now you can see the factor of safety 1.564 at the initial stage. Now I will be clicking stage 1, and now the factor of safety is this here. Why it is increased, this factor of safety? Because of the suction effect. The negative pore water pressure increases the soil strength. Shear strength is increased due to the negative pore water pressure. So this is also explained over here. If you read it out, that here surface tension associated with the contractile skin places the vertical component of this reaction force, produces the compressive stresses on the wall of the tube. Therefore, the presence of metric suction in an unsaturated soil produces a volume decreases and an increase in the shear strength. You can read this as well. So this is the main concept of increasing factor of safety But you can see here, our first stage is 10 hours. After 10 hours, there is a generation of pore water pressure over this flank, 77.59 kPa, and so on. You can see this. So now I want to check what is the pore pressure or the head of the water after 50 hours. So you can see after 50 hours, the factor of safety is changed. This now you have to check after stage 3. The factor of safety is further changed to this point, and the phreatic surface is to this point. You can check the pore water pressure is gradually increasing from this point towards this point here. At the first stage, it was here. Now the pore water pressure, you can see the generation of pore water pressure with the passage of time. Now I want to check after 500 hours what is the condition. Now the factor of safety is 1.516 because now the unsaturated zone is going to be reduced. So that is why factor of safety is going to be reduced. That test surface is moving upward. Now you can see after 10,000 hours, this is the factor of safety 1.758. So phreatic surface is moved to this point. Now almost the steady state is accomplished. You can analyze without the tolerain as well. Now if you want to see such type of figure, what you will have to do is to go to the view, and you can go to the display option, and in the display option you will have to select the groundwater and all stages, and you can apply this. So this cannot be applied or this can be applied here. You can see all the stages are now shown over here with the overall factor of safety is given over here. So this is how you can analyze the transient groundwater analysis. I hope this video will be beneficial for you. You can further plot the graphs as well. So you can also add another stage of 20,000 hours just to check the steady state seepage as well. So I hope this video is beneficial for you. If you like the video, don't forget to subscribe, please. So